Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Kelley, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I want you to know that we're having a lot of fun today because we're here in the new studios in downtown Milton, and we want to welcome to the show a person that you may not have seen, but I'm sure you have heard, especially if you have teenagers. I'd like to welcome Jackson Blue from Kiss 108.
Thank you very much.
Milton Studios. What do you think of this place? Huh?
This is definitely why Adam Street isn't done yet.
All the money went into
the
the
money
studio.
is right here in this beautiful studio. This is nice.
But hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Folks, I invited Jackson Blue. I got to know him. He moved to Milton, and we've become friends. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity for you to get to know him, other than on the radio. So if you do listen to Kiss 108, you're usually in the afternoon. Is that correct?
I'm on at night. Start at 6 p.m. I'm on until 10 p.m.
6 to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
All right. And so tell the folks at home what it's like to be a disc jockey with Kiss 108 here in the Boston.
It's cool. Like, there's so
area.
much, like, it's such a legendary station. Like, to work alongside like Matty in the morning, to be able to hang out with him and see him like once a week or something like that.
Is he a good guy?
Awesome.
He's funny.
Super funny. And he's not nearly as angry as he seems. Like, he's been nothing but awesome to me all the time throughout my entire career. So he's been good. But all the people that have worked there in the past, like, you know, Sonny Joe White, Dale Dorman, like guys that built radio.
I
in
remember
Boston.
Dale Dorman.
Yeah, one of the best of all time. JJ. I mean, there's some great guys that went through Kiss 108. So it's like, it's an honor. It's my dream to be on a station that had such great talents coming through.
So
Nice.
what interests you in becoming a disc jockey?
It started a long time ago.
Is that what you're called, the disc jockey?
I don't even know what we're called anymore, because I
mean, there's no disc, right?
There's computers, and I don't do anything. I talk.
Do you know what a record is? Have you ever seen a record?
I've heard of them. I think they melt in the sun or something. Yeah, no, when I was a kid, like, I grew up in New Jersey, and so like around when I was like 9 years old, I heard Z100, which was a New York City station, kind of like Kiss 108, and I would always, like, at 9 or 7 or however old I was, I would listen to the radio, and I would hide underneath like a table or something. My parents wouldn't know where I was, and I'd be listening to them and hearing what they say, and I would put in a tape, and then I would hit record and play on the tape, and I would copy exactly what the DJ was saying, and that kind of was like how I started up.
You were violating copyright laws a long time ago.
Oh, totally. Totally.
So you'd listen, and that's how you'd kind of get your
Yeah, I loved what they did. Like, I loved what the DJs did. Like, the music that we play on Kiss 108, I love it when I'm there, and I love the music. I think it's great. It's not always what I listen to when I'm outside, but I just love the top 40 art. Like, being able to talk about pop culture and talk to people on the phone and mess around and stuff like that's the stuff I love. I love that.
And those contests they have, are those legit? I
Oh,
mean,
of course they're legit.
And you have to be I know a person, she would be like, oh my God.
Do you know what the worst thing was? No, you on the other side, you're like, oh, we can't win, it sucks. But for me, it's like, when we have to take caller number 100,
right?
Who's sitting there and taking 100 phone calls?
I don't know.
Kiss 108, you're caller number 1. Kiss 108, you're caller number 2. Try again. Kiss 108,
you
you're caller number 3.
You have to answer the phone?
Every single time.
Oh,
yeah. I'm not Romeo. Romeo has some people that do it for him. And
you don't have a large staff, huh?
No, it's just me. Nobody else.
Are all the lights out? Everyone went home. It's just you in the studio.
That's it.
Oh, that's funny.
One man Patty.
So you got to answer the phone.
Answer them all. And so that's why when people are like, all you said is, hi, you're caller number 42, and then he hung up. And I'm like, dude, I got to answer 100 phone calls. I'm sorry, I can't have a conversation with everybody.
You're 42. I'm really sorry you're 42.
I love you. You sound like a nice person, but you didn't win. I really apologize. Okay, number 43.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
Jackson Blue.
Yep.
How'd that come about? That's not your real name, right?
No, so the real name is Shane, and the last name is Cooper Smith. It's really long.
Okay.
But it was in like middle school. I'll keep it as short as I can. It was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in the school that I was going to, and I was not the most popular kid, and I was real nervous and all that, and they put me in homeroom the first day of school, 6th grade, so 6th, 7th, and 8th. Okay. All the coolest 8th graders are in my homeroom for some reason, the coolest guys. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, so scared. I'm a little kid, little 6th grader, don't have any friends that are in this class, freaking out. So the teacher, who was really nice, Miss Beers, was like, okay, we're going to go around first and get to know each other a little bit, and we're going to go around and we're going to say our name and something about ourselves. And so she started by saying, and I could say Miss Beers and pink, because my favorite color is pink.
And her favorite drink was beer.
That's perfect.
Okay.
We had a lot in common. So then she goes, so why don't we start with you? Right to the 6th grader that's sitting there with no friends, pooping my pants. So I just want to get it off me as soon as possible. So I'm just like, Shane Blue, and off to the next. And there it was. And so all the 8th grade kids were like, Shane Blue, putting me in lockers, calling me Shane Blue. So I eventually ended up being friends with these guys, and I said, hey, if I ever go down the radio, I'll be Shane Blue on the radio, because they were my buddies at that time, just to like shout out to the old, what happened back in the day. So I started as Shane Blue when I was on Cape Cod radio, and then I got the big call from Boston to come up, and my boss didn't like the name Shane, so he came up with Jackson. And I said, okay, I'm working in Boston, I'll take whatever name you give me. So that's where Jackson Blue was, and that was like 7 years ago. And
So was your first gig, official paid gig on the Cape?
I started in a teeny tiny town in New Hampshire, in Lebanon, New Hampshire, and that was my first paid
White
gig.
River Junction. Is that
Yeah,
right?
White River. I lived in White River, actually,
Okay.
yeah. I did part-time in high school, too, in some station in Burlington, Vermont. But
Did you do anything in college?
Yeah, oh, yeah, straight through college. I did the college radio thing, and I was also doing commercial.
Now, did you study, is there a course that you take?
Communications,
It's just
yeah.
called communications.
So I took radio and TV. So when I got out of school, I did this stuff. Like I was producing morning news, and then I would go to my radio job, and it was kind of nuts. Like I was the cameraman, I was doing all the CG stuff, I was running tapes, editing, and it was pretty cool. It was all right. And so now I don't have to do that anymore.
Wow.
Until I lose my Boston job, and then I'll have to do it again.
So tell us about, now, you came to Milton, you're in Milton now, you live in Milton.
Yeah.
Why did you
Love
come
it.
to Milton?
Love it. We came here because, like everybody knows, it's real good for the families and all. And I have a 5-year-old that just turned 5 and another girl that just turned 3, Lily and Chloe. And Lily she's going to be starting kindergarten, going to Cunningham. So I'm going to be freaking out and crying the first day, putting her on the bus. But we came here because we did a lot of research and found out that it was such a good place for kids, and the
How did you
schooling was so
research?
good. All on the internet, because we knew we were coming back. We lived in Melrose for a while before I made a couple moves and went to Texas and then to Baltimore, Maryland. And
So you've been around.
yeah, the gypsy radio life. And but yeah, when we were coming back, kind of wanted to do Melrose, but we couldn't find a house that looked all that great. And then there was only a few other places that we were keeping in mind. In Milton, we kept seeing won all those awards all the time for being so good for families and stuff. So we came back and we love it. We got our neighborhood. He's one of my neighbors. I don't know if that's saying
He
too
couldn't
much.
escape me. That's why he's on the show today. He says,
Because
all right, Brian, I'll do it.
It's
I'll do
because
it.
my kids stalk you.
And the kids, they got this Texas kind of, what is it? They address me, Mr. Brian.
Mr. Brian. Yeah, straight from Texas.
Mr. Brian.
Yeah.
It's so
Every
funny.
time they'll yell at you. You do a lot of yard. He does a lot of yard work, and they watch every second of it from the windows.
Oh, they're good kids.
Yeah, they're good girls. They're good girls.
So now there are some people out in the audience, some Miltonians that are looking to get into radio someday. Matter of fact, I've actually had some people say, "Oh, you think we could get Jackson Blue to talk to so and so?"
Oh, make some connections for these people.
Yeah. So,
Already using me.
what would you say to these kids? These kids that are going to school now, maybe taking communication. Is this a good field to get into?
Yes.
Lay it out to them. Tell them the
I
truth,
love
though.
it.
You got to tell them
The truth? Okay. So I
You
love
talked
it.
about being a radio gypsy, so it sounds like
Yeah.
it's like being in the military.
You start, you make no money. So my first job, full time, and you have to learn to live on it, $14,000 a year. And that's not doable. So I mean, you start real low. It jumps and jumps and jumps, and if you make it to Boston, you're doing pretty well. But it's getting smaller and smaller, because as technology is getting better and better, there's more things that people can do to cut some corners. So some of that happens. So there's less jobs, which makes it harder to get in. So you study for something, and then it's tough to get in. But once you get in, if you're good and you practice real hard and everything is cool, you could be successful.
Now, on the music, when you go in to sit down and do your job. Do you select the music that's going to be played on your shift?
Some of it. I mean, I definitely have room for requests. There's definitely a list that's in front of me that is, you're playing this song and then this song and this song. There's a science to it.
Well, tell us about the science.
I don't really know. My boss does all that stuff. I just sit there and
I'm a
take it.
communication. I'm not a science major.
But so I don't do that. But if people call in requests, I can really flip something out. Like if it didn't get played too long ago, we play a lot of the same stuff. So if you kind of know what's going to be coming up. Like if you call in and request Led Zeppelin to Kiss 108, it's probably not going to happen, But if you call and request One Direction, I'll be able to fit that in somewhere.
Okay. Now, Kiss 108 has what's that Christmas the Jingle Ball.
Jingle Ball, yeah.
Have you ever been to that?
Oh yeah, for a long time. The last 7 years I've been to all of them. And the Kiss concert, they're huge.
So the Kiss concert was down in Mansfield this year, right?
Yep.
And now the Jingle Ball was in Boston or north of Boston or something?
That was at the, where we were doing that before? I don't know where that was. I'm not sure where that's going to be this year. There's rumors that it might change up, but I'm not sure.
So what is it, just a big concert?
Yeah, the Kiss concert is huge. So that one is, there are 20,000
That's the summer
people
one,
there.
beginning of summer.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part of the job, backstage, seeing the stars. They're all back there just hanging out.
So have you got to meet a lot of these stars?
Yeah.
yeah?
Yes, there's good ones and there's bad ones too.
Oh, yeah?
And I'll totally dish on it.
Who'd you like the best?
The worst, I'll start with. Like,
the worst. Who was
Kanye-
the worst?
Kanye
The
West.
worst.
He
Oh,
like
yeah?
Kanye West and Avril Lavigne when she was at her peak, when she was like all hot and new and all that. You weren't allowed to like make eye contact with them when they come down the halls. So there people would come out and be
you
like,
said the same thing to me
"Step
before the
aside."
show.
Oh, I know. I'll go back to that as soon as we get off, you know? I'll sit in the back seat while you drive me home.
So you're not supposed to. Okay, what else?
Yeah, so I couldn't look in Kanye West's eyes. Avril Lavigne was the same thing, and they back you out. You're not. They make you turn away from the hallway when they walk through. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. Then there's really good ones. Lady Gaga is the best of all time.
Really?
Katy Perry is super duper cool. Who else have I met that is really nice? I don't know. But Lady Gaga was the coolest one because like when her song Just Dance came out, which was her one that blew her up first, nobody was playing it in the country. And I had a little mix show on Kiss 108, like on Saturday nights, the weekend blowout. And the DJ who mixed beat for beat was put in Lady Gaga a couple times. And I was like, man, that song is so good. And nobody had heard of it. But I was like, keep putting that song in there. Like, that's a great song. And that's one place where I actually could have my hand on something. So he kept putting it in and putting it in. And then she blew up and the song got huge. Everybody started playing it across the country. I didn't expect her to take note of that at all. I never knew she knew we were playing it or anything. So she goes on to have Poker Face and another big hit, whatever it was. So she's the biggest star. She comes back and plays The Garden. And she's up on stage. And I had just moved to Dallas. And I thought my friends were just lying to me, just trying to make me feel bad about moving away from here in Boston. I start getting text messages one night. And they're saying, dude, Gaga just blew you up on stage. And I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. And it was one person.
She was talking about you on stage.
And then there was another person that sent in, and another person. And I'm like, okay, you're all sitting together, and you're saying, let's make Jackson feel bad about moving to Dallas. And I think that's what's going on. Later, I found out she actually got on stage, and she said, I want to say thank you very much to Jackson Blue from Kiss 108 for playing my song over and over here in Boston. And like, I don't know, I'm nobody, man. Like, I'm not Maddie in the morning. I'm not like, you know. So for her to take the time to do that, now every time I've talked to her since, she's always remembered. And she's been like, how you doing? How's Lily? She knows all that stuff. Oh, wow. She's a class act. Like, she's really, as crazy and weird as she is, she's fantastic.
Now, have you ever done any television?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to try again, I think.
Was it as nice a studio as this here?
No, man, this is crazy.
I hear Mike Lynch has been polishing this desk all day.
Look at the shine on that
I know,
thing.
man, look at the reflection.
You can look at yourself. Yeah, I did that community auditions that used to be on with Dave Maynard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What, you did a community audition?
They brought it back, and it's still on right now. It's still on WBZ. It's on like NESN.
Really?
Yeah, so we were on doing that.
So what were you doing?
I was hosting.
You were Dave Maynard?
I was Dave Maynard, but I also had somebody else.
Did
There
you
was two
sing
of
the
us.
song?
Yes, I could, but I'm not going to do it again.
The day, who will it be?
Oh, yeah. We played it every day, every time at the end of the show. It was pretty good. But yeah, they're still doing it right now. I moved away, so I gave up the hosting gig, and now Ramiro, who works over at Jam 94.5 in the morning, he's hosting it. But yeah, it's cool. It was great to do that. So I'm talking about getting back in. Dirty Water TV, they do.
What do they do?
That's another show that's on. I'm talking about getting in and hosting a little bit, doing that stuff. So.
And there was some other TV show you did a pilot for or something. You were.
Yeah, I was traveling New England, but I was editing that
okay.
one myself. It was my pitch, but that didn't go anywhere.
Tell us what it was. One of the things.
I was going to travel around. It was going to be Jackson Blue Travels New England, and I was going to go all over, like, you know, to New Hampshire, all around Boston, like go to Vermont.
Oh, the new Chronicle.
Like, yeah, totally. But to like little weird festivals.
On steroids.
Yeah, because I was talking to I've got to word myself properly here. The interesting people that you meet at some of these things, yeah? They're the people I was looking for and banking on.
What was one of the things you were
The
thinking?
cannoli eating contest. I taped. I actually went down there and had somebody, and I can't stand ricotta cheese. I mean, I know cannolis are fantastic, but not for me. So I entered the cannoli contest. I ended up eating a whole bunch of them, paid for that. But it was just cool to see the people that showed up for that. It's a huge deal down there in the North End, the cannoli eating contest. So I was going to highlight those kind of things and the people behind them and who shows up and who's running them. And I think it would be a cool show, but there's the pitch. If anybody wants to do it, let's do it.
There you go. So what else? Tell me, so you got involved with this. What do you see down the road?
Oh, I don't know.
Where do you go next?
I don't know.
Now, Maddie in the morning, I mean, Maddie
he's
in
not
the
going
morning,
anywhere.
He's
the man.
He's doing what he loves to do.
Yes.
So he found his niche, his spot.
He's been there for 26 years. He's has no plans. He shouldn't go anywhere because that guy is that good. He is Boston. He's Boston radio to me. I mean, and people say that. I mean, they ask me if I would ever want to take over. I would hate to be the guy who would fill Maddie's shoes afterwards. Like, nobody can. Whoever's going to take over for Maddie, the first person, is going to fail. You know, I feel. I mean, it's Kiss 108, so the brand is going to be great no matter what. But I would be scared to death to be the guy that walk in there and take those calls that Maddie's not there anymore.
But can you see yourself doing something like Maddie's doing someday?
Yeah, when I was in Baltimore, I did mornings, and I tried morning radio, and it was awesome. I love it.
What time do they start?
I got up at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's a totally opposite schedule where I'm at right now. That's why I have no energy everywhere I go right now. I'm like, I'm not used to my new schedule.
So you like working nights?
I like doing mornings better.
Oh, you're a morning person.
Yeah, I made myself into a morning person while I was there. It was great.
So 3:30 you get up.
3:30 you get up. Got to do all that show prep so you know what you're going to talk about.
What's show prep like? Tell them.
Now it's pretty easy.
Right?
Like I just hit all the same websites and find out like what the celebrity stories are, what like lifestyle stories are out there. You know, like things that are like I like the weird stories better than the celebrity stuff because everybody talks about Kardashians and nobody cares. You know. But like I like finding out about like what's some of the new lifestyle stories that I was just finding. I can't remember all these studies and stuff that are out there. So I'll look for those things and then try to find a way to weave it in and find a topic to talk about with people that makes it interesting. And then I like the people calling in and interacting that way. That's the stuff I like. So that takes a little while. Even at Kiss 108, I show prep for about an hour and a half before I go on the air. Even though I don't really do much, I don't say too much. I try to pick the right things.
You mentioned tattoos. I see you got some tattoos.
Yes, I have the weirdest tattoos. They're
off
of the
show
kids.
one.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
let's go.
Okay. Oh, yeah, folks, this show is getting a little risque here.
Here we go. So they're all for my kids. So I have the 5-year-old and the 3-year-old, and they're all very weird. I'll show this one first. So this one is the Meow Yum tattoo. It's
Okay, you can see the screen.
there we go. Oh, thanks, guys. So Meow Yum. And that's how I'm signing off on the radio.
Is that a kind of cat food?
It sounds like it, or it sounds something much more perverse. But
Meow Yum. Okay, so what does Meow Yum come from?
Because my 5-year-old, like a long time ago, when she was 3 or 2 or something like that, she started calling herself Meow Meow. Whenever that was her alter ego. Whenever she was doing something she shouldn't be doing, when she was being naughty, she would call herself Meow Meow. And then when the other baby was 1 or young or 0, she was calling her Yum Yum. So they were Meow Meow and Yum Yum. So on radio, I decided to start shouting out my kids every day when I'm signing off the air, even though I don't really talk about them much. So I would say, all right, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Meow Yum. And everybody's like, why the heck do you say Meow Yum at the end of the show?
Sign off, right?
Yeah. So then I took it a step further, and I got it on my arm. And now they don't call themselves Meow or Yum. And they're only 5 and 3.
You got any old girlfriend names on your arms?
No, thank God I didn't do that. It's all for the kids. But this is the worst one. Okay, so I did all these things for my kids. They basically picked out everything on my arm. So I told Lily that she could pick out my last tattoo. Because she's getting old enough. She has an imagination. And I was like, do whatever you want.
Yeah, most 5-year-olds do.
Yeah, but I should have thought about it. Because I was like, pick whatever you want. Dad'll get it on me. I'll get whatever you want on me. And so she said, okay, I know what I want. All right, what do you want, Lily? I want a cotton candy monster. And I was like, oh, no. Okay, we're going to rethink this whole cotton candy monster thing. Take another couple days. Think about what you want. A cotton candy monster. So I come back to her 2 days later, and she goes, I want a cotton candy monster. I gave you my word. I gave her my word. I said, I'll get what you want. So there's the cotton candy monster. That's my latest one right there. It looks like I have something wrong with my skin. some kind of rash going on, but no, it's the cotton candy monster.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So the next one, I actually already know. It's a Juicy Juice box. It's going right there.
A Juicy Juice.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of
Have
space.
you had any guests like this before? They're usually talking about good things for Milton.
Folks, you can see I've gotten desperate. Oh, my God.
Sorry about that, yeah.
So what other stories do you have? You did some, I thought I saw you do some internet shows, too. I thought I saw it.
Oh, yeah, I do that Celebrity Dirt. Yeah, that like quick pace editing thing.
Give us an example of something you do on there, like how you
perform. I can't,
perform.
though. Like, it's just, I mean, I can't. It depends on what the story is. It's basically just making fun of the celebrities. Like,
so what celebrity would you make fun of right now?
Every single one of them.
Go ahead, make fun of someone. Go ahead.
No, I got nothing. I don't have it depends on what's happening today, you know, like Britney Spears and Jason Terwick. I mean, she has cold feet now. Like, she was not sure if she's going to marry him, but he's her conservator or whatever, the guy who has to make all of her decisions. So how do you say you're not going to marry the guy who's making all your decisions? You know what I mean? She's going to say, I'm not sure I want to get married, and he's going to say, I'm your brain, so yes, you do want to get married. And she's going to say,
I'm your brain?
Yes. She can't. She's going to do it. She has to get married to him because that's the way it is. But that's not, that's not what we're talking about. It's more fast-paced, like make bad jokes that are inappropriate and move forward. That's my whole other life.
Now, what else? Now, you do something else on the radio, not just the Kiss 108.
Oh, yeah.
So what else are you doing?
Then there's I have a national show that we do out of my basement, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I work for John Garabedian.
You have a little device or something?
Yeah, like a little studio
Yeah.
Like I got the microphone, I got like the mic compressors and all that. But John Garabedian, the guy who does Open House Party, who also lives in Southborough, like he's a local guy. He's huge. He's on hundreds of stations.
You're a friend of his?
Yeah, like
Does he know you?
He's
Would
the
he
guy.
do a shout out?
Yeah, well, he hired me, but he's the guy who like I listened to. Another one of those guys that I listened to when I was a kid. Every Saturday night I would listen to his show. So to be able to like pick up, and he asked me to do this show for him was huge for me. You know, like that's huge. So I do. It's every night. It's on like 35 stations. It's on in like Louisville, Kentucky in the afternoons. It's on a bunch of places in Texas, like all over.
Now,
the
how
place.
do you play the music? I mean, do you select the music?
Yeah, that one I have a lot of hands on that one.
So you select the music. Do you ever have like artists that are new up and coming artists that ask you to play their music?
I don't do it if they ask. Like if I like their stuff, then yeah.
But how do you know if you like the stuff?
I'll listen to it. Oh, I listen all the time. I love listening to like the local guys and all that stuff, local artists, and I try. If I could give breaks, I would, but I mean it's a bigger thing. It's such a bigger picture, you know. Like if I break it, it's not going to get played across the country, you know. So.
What's your favorite kind of music?
Probably like indie rock, like alternative stuff. Is
like give a name of a couple of songs. I don't know.
Like
I have no
MGMT.
clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know the bands. There's some good stuff out there though. Listen to Passion Pit. It's good, some good stuff. I'll play you some.
What are
stuff.
some of your hobbies besides being a DJ?
Being dad. I think that's all I do. I think it's just I'm dad, and then I work, and then I work, and then I dad, and then I sleep, and that's basically. I don't think I have time for hobbies right now. I mean that's basically.
Do you sing?
It. No, definitely not. No, but I was gonna tell
You
you.
want to sing now? Get on mic.
Star of the day. No. The one story that I was going to tell you about that you asked me about like a funny story that I would have from. So, and I had to totally cover my butt on this one. It was so embarrassing, and she thought I was messing with her, and thank God, because I had Taylor Swift. I was interviewing her. And
I know a couple. She's got some fans in this town.
She's huge, and I know how big she is, and I was respectful of that. And
Did you go down to the Kennedy compound to see her last week?
No, she's here all the time now, huh? But they gave me, I had to do my show prep so I could interview her, have questions ready to go, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought that she had won American Idol. I thought she was Taylor Hicks, and that she had her start there. Oh my gosh, and she was already the biggest star. So I get her on the phone. I'm like, yeah, we got Taylor Swift. So what does it feel? How does it feel about it? And she's like, what are you talking about? How does it feel like this many years later to be so big now? And you had your start there. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, American Idol, you know, like your start there. She's like, that wasn't me. That was Taylor Hicks. And I was like, I gotcha. I was just kidding. And so she goes, oh my gosh, this hasn't happened to me in so long. I can't believe it.
Oh, you were lucky.
She's like, you're so good. That was good. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So the rest of the interview sucked because I was like, oh my gosh, I totally screwed up. I screwed up.
So you couldn't think straight.
No, the rest of it was like, but she bought it. So I think when I air that interview, that's the only part I ever air, over and over that part. So people are like, oh, you got her, ha ha. No, I was just stupid.
So you do an interview with a lot of stars?
Yeah, I get to interview a good bunch.
And what they just, you arrange it? Do you pre-record these things or do you do them live?
Yeah, I pre-record them, just in case they go bad, you know.
Tell us when it went bad that was pre-recorded that you had to do over.
Well, I never get to do them over. It's a one-time and go. It's not so much that they go bad. It's like Diddy. There's certain guys that just want to get on and they only want to promote what they want to promote. Like they'll have what they're going to do. And when you're interviewing, you know, you want to try to get interesting things out of them. You know, you don't want to just promote their album that's coming out. Like they're going to do that everywhere else. So you try to talk and ask other questions, their personal life, like without trying to get too nosy because you don't want to annoy them. So I'll try to do that, and most artists are fantastic, like are good at it. But like Diddy is one guy who will just be like, when he's answering your questions, he'll talk like this. Yeah, no, yeah, I know, I did that. Yeah, and then you'll be like, hey, what about your album? Yo, my album's coming out. It's dropping in 2 weeks. Oh, it's gonna be hot. I got this person and that person. Blah, blah, blah. And then when you go back to asking them more questions, it goes back to, yeah, all right, yeah, thanks, man. All right, see ya. So you can't use any of the good stuff, and you have to use the stuff that he's hyping. Because you want it to sound good on the radio.
And that's what he does. That's why
he's smart. He's smart. There's a couple guys like that, but he's definitely a businessman. He's smart. Jeez. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Jackson Blue.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure having you on Milton
very
Cable.
Nice.
Huh?
I hope I didn't scare away everybody out there. Now you're going to be like, I'm going to be in the grocery store, fruit center or something. You're going to be like, there's that guy.
Jackson Blue.
We don't like that guy.
Oh, that is so funny. Hey,
thank you for having me on.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, and folks, you'll see him around town.
Yes, around town for sure. I love the studio. Very nice. Thank you, guys.
Well, years ago, Mike at the studio here, he used to have to do everything. Now, please, it's all There's no crew here anymore.
No.
Mike's actually controlling this from home. But yeah, we got to get off the air. And we got to clean up this place. And folks, what do you think of this studio? Is this unbelievable?
Very nice.
So hey, Milton has come a long way.
Totally.
We want to be number one.
I'm impressed. I think
more
they
people
are.
like him will come to town. You know, when they do the research, they see this on YouTube.
Oh wait, there's wicked famous people in Milton though, right?
Wicked famous?
I'm sorry. There's my Boston. There's my fake Boston jumping out.
It can be wicked famous. I like that.
Who are some other people that are here?
In Milton,
are we allowed to say?
I think one of the girls from Kiss live
one
here.
of the Kiss people. I won't call her out because I don't know if.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
and,
she's here.
Who else?
I thought there was one person that you told me that was somebody who was pretty big that was living here.
Well, the girl from Fidelity Investments lives here.
Humongous.
Abigail.
That's a big one, yeah.
I never seen her house. They tell me she has a pretty big house in town, but I've never seen it. So maybe it's not here, but I believe she lives here somewhere. So.
Very cool.
But hey, it's been a pleasure.
Very nice.
We'll see you around town, and who knows? I think you should have your own show here. I think. What do you think? We'll have to talk to the
set. Oh yeah.
Would that be of interest?
I'll be
to
your
you?
laugh track. I'll just sit off camera and laugh for you. That'll be my guy.
You don't need a laugh track. All right, folks.
All right,
Hey, this has
thank
been
you,
another show, another edition of Talk of the Town. And so you just met Jackson Blue, who's a new resident in Milton, and you'll see him around town. You'll see him over at Cunningham School dropping off the kids. And so, hey, I appreciate you watching the show, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brian.